Hi folks, CodeTutor here and my name is Anil Deshpande. Hi folks, welcome to the last video of Solid with Android series. In this particular video, we will continue from where we had left off. In the previous video, we were basically discussing about there is a possibility where we can even further refactor ViewModel so that we can separate out concerns between the UI and non-UI, that is basically the business logic. And we will do that refactoring now, and hopefully by the end of it our application would be in a pretty good shape as far as solid principles compliance is concerned. So as we had discussed in the previous video, some of these logic that we are maintaining here are really about just UI state management. They are not really doing any business logic. To do the business logic, we are actually reliant upon the functionalities that are provided in the iCountryViewModel, that is get all countries, delete, update and filter. So how do we go about it? So we will create another view model called as CountryUIViewModel that will serve as a view model for the UI related logic. So let me open the project structure here and go to the view model and let me create a new Kotlin file, CountryUIViewModel, and this will also extend Android's view model. And then let me open it with a split view, and here I will basically cut this logic which is right now available in the country view model. I will move it to the country UI view model. You can already see that there are compilation errors here, but we will come to that a bit later. So once this is done, now let me go to the iCountry view model and let me rename this to CountryOperationViewModel. Now this becomes CountryOperationViewModel. This is not needed, so let me remove this. It is not being used anywhere. And what about this? I think this is also not needed because this isLoading is basically used to decide whether to show the busy load or not. We can manage it through observe isLoading changes. So let me go here, and here we are using isLoading.value viewModel dot all countries value dot isEmpty, and we have replaced the view model to be of type country operation view model. And now where is this being used? This is being used in the main screen. These are the compilation errors. This is happening because now we have moved the logic to the UI view model. So what we will have to do is we will have to also pass the UI view model and use UI view models references here wherever there is a problem. And isLoading, we will simply maintain it without the view model. Remember, mutable state of value equals to false, and that's it. And we are passing this isLoading to the observe isLoading changes, and that gets basically initiated by whatever the least size is in the operation view model. So let me go back to the operation view model where there are still issues. The main problem is removing the old references which was based on UI state management. So this is not needed anymore. And come to the delete country. This is not needed and this is not needed. We can basically rewrite this particular logic based on country that we will be receiving. Country dot let repository, it is country repository dot delete country, pass the country, and that should delete it. I think we need to go to the delete country and update it here. So let me go to the original repository and then pass country. So that should take care of it. So delete is working. Let me update the update country functionality. So let me just go to the country repository, delete country, and update capital functionalities are there, which takes a country and the new capital. So we will basically use this one rather than the one that we are seeing here. So let me just go back, stick to this particular signature for updation, and now come back here, replace this with new functionality, and we'll write country dot let country repository dot update capital it slash new capital, and that should take care of it. And with that done with the issues that we were facing in the country operation view model after we had moved our code to UI view model. I think the selected key filter and filter by key are not being used. So I think those are being used in the scaffold. So let's go to the scaffold as well. And we should be seeing some errors here. Yeah, of course. Here it is, view model. So for that we have UI view model. Country UI view model is equal to country UI view model, and use that, and that will resolve that problem. But there are a couple of more issues here. We will change this, and that should also resolve those problems. Come down and main screen, and we have to also pass the UI view model, and that will take care of the last remaining problem. So our code is in a pretty good state. I already see there are some compilation errors. So of course the signature has changed. So let me update that. I need to have some kind of a country which is selected for deletion. So let me have something like selected country for deletion, and I will use this here. Selected country for deletion dot let view model, which is a operation view model, dot delete country dot it dot value, and then after you pass it, you need to basically initialize it again to null. The same is applicable here as well. Selected country for updation, let view model, which is a operation view model, dot update country or update capital, and then dot it the country and new capital, and that will basically take care of the refactored logic for the updation. And that's it, we are done. You can move the logic to create these instances even above the scaffold. You can pass this as a parameter to the scaffold. So in that case, you basically move it to activity where you initialize these things and then pass these things as a parameter. But we will stop here because there are a couple of things where we can use that as a leverage to do the further refactoring in the future set of videos. But more or less, we are done with this particular refactoring that we had been doing for quite a long time. So after having gone through our last couple of videos, which has been around, I think, 5 videos or 6 videos, what are the major takeaways? So we started with refactoring our code from the bottom-up approach, which is basically from the model. Model is basically the foundation of any application. If you are able to refactor your model, which is already pretty much to some extent very well isolated from the UI logic, you can lay a pretty good foundation for isolating the modules from the various top modules. So that is the reason why I decided to start refactoring from the model rather than starting from the view. And also, it would be very easy to start from the model, which is the almost bottommost layer. So as you start refactoring the model first, the dependent modules would not have any major ripple effect. If you start refactoring from the view, it will have a ripple effect, domino effect on the all lower modules. Instead of that, if you start from the bottommost module, which is the model or the room database in our case, it would be possible to bring in a consistency at the lowest level and then slowly cascade them to a higher level, which are dependent on basically the lower module. So in a way, when you do this kind of refactoring from the bottom up approach, from the model to the repository and then to the view model and then finally to the composables, in a way what you are achieving is a pretty standard clean code architecture. So it becomes much more easy for you to write the code that is easily extendable, maintainable, refactorable, testable, all those things. So that is the reason why I chose to do it from the bottom-up approach, that is from the model. So when you ensure that the lower modules are adhering to the solid principles, it becomes much more easier to refactor the upper layer modules. So now that we have refactored our code, what is the next point? I mean, from here, where we can go? That brings us to the end of this particular video. Don't forget to like, comment, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye.